Chapter 1. The Child Between Two Mothers. The first cry of a newborn ripped through the quiet night air of a small Tanzanian village. The rain had stopped an hour ago, leaving the earth damp and fragrant, the air thick with the smell of wet soil. Inside a mud-walled house, candlelight flickered, painting shadows across a young woman's face. Her name was Jane, and she was exhausted. Her body ached, her chest heaved, and sweat clung to her skin. She stared down at the tiny bundle in her arms. Chocolate-skinned baby girl, fists clenched, lips trembling, eyes still closed. "Dory," Jane whispered, her voice trembling. "Your name, it will be Dory." The child's first breath, fragile and soft, filled Jane with a love she had never known. Yet beneath that love, a cold weight pressed on her chest. She could not give this child a life worth living. Her husband, a quiet man with good intentions, slept in the next room, unaware of the silent battle raging in Jane's mind. Poverty had already stolen so much from them: a proper home, enough food, peace. Now it threatened to steal Dory's childhood before it had even begun. Jane's struggle. Raising a child had been Jane's dream. She had imagined Dory growing up in a home filled with laughter, her father reading bedtime stories, her mother baking fresh bread. But reality was harsher than any dream. Her husband had tried. He worked long hours, but money never seemed enough. Every month brought a new worry: no maize for the meal, the well running dry, the baby's clothes too small. Jane loved her husband, yes, but he was trapped in a life that could not change. She was trapped too. By the time Dory was 6 months old, Jane made a choice that would haunt her forever. One evening, she packed a small bundle of clothes for herself and her daughter. She walked out of the house quietly, letting the door close behind her like a silent promise of heartbreak. She went to stay with relatives in a nearby town, hoping that distance and determination could build the life she dreamed of for Dory. For weeks she tried. She took odd jobs, washed clothes for neighbors, and sold food in the market. She worked through fatigue, hunger, and loneliness, often holding the crying baby through the night, whispering, "I'll give you the life you deserve, my child, I promise." But life had other plans. Every day was a struggle. There were nights she slept on cold floors, mornings when she found no money to buy milk. The more she tried, the more impossible it became. And Dory, innocent, trusting, beautiful, deserved more than she could give. The decision. It was on a rainy morning, when Dory was just over a year old, that Jane realized she could not do it alone. The tears that had once flowed quietly in the night now came in unstoppable waves. "I love you too much to ruin you, Jane," whispered, rocking Dory in her arms. "I can't be the mother you need, but maybe my sister can." She thought of Rose, her elder sister, who lived in town with a small house, a warm bed, and a husband who had longed for a child of his own. They had struggled to conceive for years, and Jane had always admired their home, their stability. Jane took a deep breath, the kind that carries both fear and resolve. That afternoon, she wrapped Dory in a clean kitenge, kissed her soft forehead, and took a bus to Rose's house. Every step as she walked to her sister's house echoed in her chest like a drum of sorrow. When Rose opened the door, her face lit up with surprise and concern. "Jane, what brings you here?" she asked softly. Jane couldn't speak at first. She held Dory closer, feeling the baby's tiny heartbeat against her chest. I can't raise her, Rose. I tried. I really did. But I can't give her a life she deserves." Rose's eyes widened. What are you saying?" "I want you to take her," Jane said, her voice breaking. Raise her as your own. Don't tell her about me. Not now. Maybe never. Please. She deserves love. She deserves peace. Rose's hands shook as she reached for Dory. The baby stirred, opening her eyes for the first time, curious and innocent. She cooed softly, stretching her tiny arms. "You want me to take her?" Rose whispered, barely breathing. Jane nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Yes, I know it's asking everything, but you can do it. I trust you." Rose held the baby close, feeling an unexpected warmth fill her chest, a combination of awe, responsibility, and love. "I promise, Jane, I'll give her the life she deserves. I swear." Jane's heart broke in two that moment. She had given up her child, the thing she loved most, and yet she felt a strange relief. For the first time in months, she believed Dory would be safe. The farewell. Standing in the doorway, Jane whispered into the baby's soft hair, "You'll never know, my child, but I love you more than the world." Rose squeezed Dory tighter. "Don't worry, baby girl," she said softly. "You will never lack love." Jane turned and walked away, the streets blurred by rain and tears. Every step echoed her loss, her sacrifice, and her love. Behind her, the world of two mothers began, one who gave life through letting go, and one who built a world from that gift. And so, the story of Dory began, a child caught between love and sacrifice, innocence and destiny, who would one day discover that the bonds of family are sometimes invisible but never absent. Chapter 2.